Summer turned to fall, yet even after most of the seasonal workers had returned to the city to luxuriate in the convenience of electric heat, Gloria showed no sign of going anywhere. So in October, long after her belly began protruding through her embroidered dresses, the hems riding up her thighs as the baby swelled, Raymond took further pains to avoid her. First, he removed his few belongings from his cabin and set up camp by the river. Then he stopped leading the morning meetings and hiking up the hill for the communal meals. Instead, he foraged kale, carrots, fennel, and zucchini from the gardens, and he grew even skinnier. In November, Doris, his childhood friend and the co-founder of Celestial, informed him that she and Gloria's friend Clodagh had moved Gloria into his cabin, where it was warmer, and that even though everyone else had gone for the winter, they were going to stay on until the baby arrived. They didn't want the poor woman to be all alone. Though this bothered him, he was still confident that with time, Gloria would realize what a mistake she was making, and so he soldiered on. He spent his nights on the Slate Rock riverbank, head resting on his rolled-up jacket, gazing up at the flickering light of the stars scattered across the sky. And when the weather grew too cold for that, he began sleeping in the small hayloft in the animal shed with the nanny goats. Holding out for the morning, he'd wake to discover that the woman and her pregnant belly had finally gone. Or, even better, he'd wake up to discover the whole fiasco had been a terrible dream. Now it's mid-December, and Raymond is at the top of a tall wooden ladder while the new kid, Wesley, clings firmly to the lower rails, steadying the contraption over the rocky soil. They are framing a 20-foot-high geodesic greenhouse that only needs 5 more windows before it's completely winterized. And in the distance, the sparrows and thrushes are singing, and the river's winter-swollen waters are gurgling under the thin ice. Nature's cacophony is normally the only soundtrack at the farm. But today, something else has been drifting down from the encampment since dawn. The women are singing, with determination. Raymond can make out their wavering harmonies in the breeze. Hooking his hammer in his back pocket, he begins his descent, when from below Wesley lets out a holler and the ladder careens to the left. Raymond's tread-bare gumboots lose their footing and the rails start sliding through his gloved hands. Thankfully, after falling only a few feet, he manages to grab a hold of the ladder again and maneuver his way to the ground in one piece. Shaken, he rubs his jaw through his long, tangled beard as the boy watches him closely.
"I'm real sorry about that. It's just those women up there are driving me crazy,"
Wesley stammers, his face red and worried-looking, like he expects a beating.
"No problem. No one died."
Wesley points to the hill.
"Can't you hear them? What do you think that's all about? They're going on, singing the same song."
Raymond shrugs.
"I couldn't tell you,"
he says, though he's pretty sure he knows the reason behind it. Leaving the boy to put away the ladder, Raymond zips his jacket up against the cold and wanders towards the paddock, still a little shaky from the fall. As he goes, he surveys his surroundings, the 10 acres of vegetable gardens waiting for spring planting, the fledgling apple orchard, the almost done geodesic dome, and all that land on the other side of the deer fence, patiently waiting for Celestial to retain enough people to tend it. Physically, the farm hasn't changed with the coming baby, but it feels different. In jeopardy. Raymond pulls a toothpick from his pocket and tucks it in his cheek. Inside the paddock, Brave, their best milk goat, clops across the packed earth towards him. Raymond squats and allows her to root in his pockets for corn. He strains his ears and is relieved to find he can't hear the women singing anymore. Besides the goat's eager grunts, Celestial is eerily quiet now. It's possible there's a high wind blowing the women's voices down the other side of the hill, away from the valley. Or maybe Gloria has been lying all along.